Perfectionism isn't the badge of honor that you think it is. It's actually what is stopping you from moving forward. So let's talk about that today. The perfectionism is killing your progress. It's killing your progress. You got to let it go. You got to let that go. But it's easier said than done, right? Because it's built into us to want to get it perfect, to want to get it right, because of all of our internalized fears about what people might think about it. Is it going to be worthwhile? Or am I going to be judged or whatever? All of the reasons that are not that important, because the more important thing is that you actually keep moving forward. So let's talk about some actual tips on getting past this perfectionism. The first one is to set a good enough bar. Good enough. Good enough is good enough, right? So good enough can look like a couple of different things. It really depends on you. And for me, good enough is just that it's that. It got the information across. You can see me, you can hear me. If we're talking in the terms of videos, right? It's good enough. Already, the fact that in this video I've got text flying around is already better than good enough. It's already better than good enough. But good enough can look like a different thing for anyone. Just filming on your phone and not editing, if your message is clear, people can hear you and people can see you like enough, then it's good enough, right? It doesn't need to look like a movie. It doesn't need to win any awards. It's good enough, because the more you're doing good enough, the better your videos are going to be. So commit to the task, commit to finishing it, and commit to being okay with good enough. The next thing to do is to set yourself some deadlines. Now, as I'm recording this, we're actually in our live stream of the 12 days of video creation challenge. By today, we're saying we should be already finished with thumbnails. Now, some people were finished, some people are not, but it was like, today is the deadline. We're setting a deadline. We're doing it today. And you know what that does? It gives you a little kick in the something to get something done, right? Because we set ourselves a deadline. There's also something to the fact that this challenge, we were doing it in 12 days. This video that you're watching right now is the first video of a series of 12 that we are batching within a 12-day time period in December. You're watching this sometime in the future, right? But the challenge was that there's a deadline. There's a window. We're specifically doing this task in this window. We do not have the time to make things more complicated than they need to be. It has to be good enough, and it has to be done in this amount of time. And with those things in mind, you want to focus on the outcome. There's so many steps between us and finishing a video, getting a video done. You can't focus on every little step between here and there. You can't do it. It's not sustainable. We'll never get a video out. And I'm telling you, this is somebody with that same experience of it would take me months to finish a simple video like what we're doing right now. This used to take me months. It might even be a year before I get a video out like this, because it was like, it has to be this, it has to be that. Oh, the lighting, oh, the set, oh, the this, oh, the that. Or we can say, this idea just needs to get out of my head. I need this video to get out, uploaded onto the internet. I need to create it. I need to release it so I can repeat, so I can do it again, right? So focusing on the outcome. The most important thing in this challenge that we're doing is that you actually make the videos. Now, there's different steps in the process to getting the videos out, right? I have a Notion template that we're working through, right? If that's an issue, do it in something else. It doesn't have to be in Notion. We're building our thumbnails in advance. Those thumbnails are tripping you up. What can you do? Make them simpler. Just make them simpler. Template simpler, because you can always change those later, right? The most important part is that you make the videos and you complete the videos. Is editing going to be your problem for you, right? If editing is going to be a problem, you better be filming these things in one take and calling it a day. But the result is what's important. It's focusing on the outcome versus every little detail, because every little detail doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So question for you, what is one task that perfectionism has delayed for you lately? Tell me in the comments, because I want to know. And if you're watching this in the live stream right now, I already know we talked about it. It's actually getting this done, isn't it? It's actually getting this done. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that those are things that you can keep in mind outside of just recording videos or creating content, because sometimes perfectionism will stop us in just everyday things, right? But when we do them enough, we're fine. Every time you brush your teeth is not the perfect teeth brushing. It's not. Sometimes it's just good enough because you got to getting to the rest of your day, right? Giving yourself a deadline. There's some things that like it just has to happen. It just has to happen. So there's only so much you can think at it, so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. You just have to make a decision, be like, you know what? Great. Time's up. Gotta go. Gotta go. That's it. That's the end. And then focusing on the outcome. Because if we focus on every minute little detail, we're going to be stuck focusing on the wrong thing.